I'm a little split, I'm not gonna lie. I think I should start this off by saying that Savannah's already got me on her side. She's got my vote in the palm of her hands because Katie is trash. That's just my personal opinion. Not to say that she's not talented, but just considering the run that she's had lately, she just hasn't had much to show for lately. And Savannah just getting started, literally just getting started. I'm a little interested to see where this is going. Savannah Dexter dropped her song Raise Hell, which I thought that was clever. Kind of a spin on the Catch Hell song that blew Katie up and used the same flow, kind of the same schemes every now and again. And the beat sound fairly similar to the Catch Hell song, which I thought that was well played. Before I talk about everything I liked about her song, I'll get to that in just a minute, but I need to start with Katie's track because it came out first. And there's not much to be said about it, I don't think. In terms of the song itself, the fact that it came out 2 hours before, like 2-3 hours before Savannah's song did, you would think that she was onto something by coming out with a track before hers, you know? But upon hearing it, I was dead wrong. It sounds like she just made it on the fly. She was just looking on Instagram and realized, oh crud, it's that day where that track is going to drop. It sounded like she needed to cook something up real quick, but her producer was out of town, so she had to do all the mixing herself. And that had potential to go crazy. It had potential to sound like it would actually hit really hard, but it just didn't. It sounded like a Lucy from my mixtape Lyrical Cannibalism from 2018. I easily would have taken it off because it wasn't worth anything at all. So on a quick side note to my fellow young artists and producers out there, make sure your songs are mixed good. Because it doesn't matter how crazy the sounds are, if the song itself isn't mixed well, it's not gonna matter. And this is a prime example. Floridian Sunset. It sounds like a great country song, at least it did. Another thing Katie ruined for all of us. And that's just speaking on how it sounded. What about the content? Do I even have to say anything? She didn't say anything. She just said that when she sees Savannah, she's gonna beat her, and that was essentially it. You know, there's nothing else to be said. And she sang on it, and there was a chorus on it. To me, those two are just no. Forget it. You can't sing on a diss song. You can't have a chorus in your diss song. And that's a gripe I have with Savannah's too. I'll get to that in a minute. And especially with a voice as nice, a singing voice as nice as Katie's, because she does have a nice singing voice. Let's not act like that's not true. And you're trying to diss somebody, you're trying to sound hard. It's not working. It just wasn't working, Katie. And now that's everything with Katie's track. What about Savannah's? Savannah's, honestly, I'm kind of split. First off, I'm going to speak on everything that I liked. I mean, I can go into depth more about what I didn't like about Savannah's. Doesn't mean I didn't like it. Doesn't mean I hated it more than Katie's. I just have more to say about it. But first off, what I liked about it was I liked the video. I love how high quality it was. There was obviously a lot that went into that, and she was making her debut. She wanted to showcase exactly who she was, and I think she did a fairly decent job of that, I think. And then next, of course, I like the song. I like the way it sounded. She sounds comfortable. She's doing enough acrobatics with her voice without being too gimmicky, which I think is fair for a debut song. So I give her props for that. But with that, that's kind of where my biggest complaints are also, because you gotta think this is a diss song. Like, you're trying to go at somebody. When you're gonna do a diss about somebody, I feel like if you're gonna do something so elaborate as doing such a high budget video to go along with it, I think that's kind of a waste of resources and a waste of time, honestly. I feel like if you're gonna incorporate something so massive into something that's directly targeted towards another person, I think that's kind of a waste. I feel like that's a lot of potential being put to a lousy use. I'm not trying to be mean, I'm just being critical, and I like being blunt about these kind of things, because you got to think it's a diss song. You're going at another person, and you don't have a catalog to speak for at this point. So I can kind of understand where you're coming from in that aspect, but that's exactly my point. And even more than that, I think the statement that could have been made with the video, if not any other statement at all, just Savannah herself letting Katie know, yo, I'm now, you know. Yeah, I give her mad props for that. In terms of the song itself, I think she could have varied her flows a little bit more. She was pretty good about it towards the beginning, but then it kind of peaks at one point, and then just, again, I'm not trying to be mean, I'm just saying, that's something I noticed. I think it was pretty good for a rookie, you know, a rookie to the country rap game. A pretty good showcasing of talent, yeah.
But then there was a chorus.
I don't know, I just have this thing where if you're gonna do a video and you're gonna do a chorus for a diss song, you immediately get minus points for that. But I'm really split on this. I really am, because I want to like Savannah so much, and I do already. Like hearing her on that track, it gave me hope for what she was going to do in the future, and I'm excited. I really am. Which kind of leads me into my next point, is about how I hope she's not just putting all of her effort into this and then it's not going to lead into anything else. My hope for this is that when she comes out of this whole situation, is that she's gonna let this build into a body of work. She's gonna put her energy into a full-length body of work that people are going to embrace, people are going to listen to, and it's gonna be massive. Because I don't want her debut to have all of its energy put into it if it means all of her energy is going into just simply attacking Katie, and that's it. I don't want her to base her entire career around that, especially considering it already kind of looks that way, because her debut song is a diss song on Katie Noel. So obviously over the course of most of this video, I've talked far more about Savannah than I have Katie, because she's the one I actually have a lot to say to, the one I have the most to speak about. Katie, just stop. But yeah, that's my review of both tracks, and looking at them side by side, they're kind of similar. They both have singing in them, they both have choruses, which with those you already immediately lose points, with me at least. In terms of diss songs, that is a no-go. But looking at it in terms of a rap battle, looking at round one, I have to give it to Savannah, because her song was so, just easily so much better. And considering we just don't know exactly what she's capable of yet, that was a good showcasing of her, I feel like, and I'm excited to see what she has to come, what has yet to come for her. Katie, I've heard Katie spaz on a track before. She did not do that with this at all. All she did was talk about going at her opponent, attacking her. If she ever saw her in public, like anybody could have wrote this about anybody. At least Savannah's was personal. As much as there wasn't much to go in depth about, she mostly talked about how Katie's a lesbian and her situation with Ryan Upchurch. Other than that, she didn't really go into depth about anything, which I kind of find it ironic that she gives Ryan props for putting Katie on when one of the key elements of her diss was putting a spin on the song called Catch Hell, which is actually an Adam Calhoun song that introduced me, at least, to Katie Noel, and I'm sure thousands of others also. So kind of an inconsistency there, but overall really good song. And it leaves me excited to see what has yet to come for Savannah. Yeah, Savannah, keep it up. Don't put all your energy into this. Let your energy be put into giving us incredible music in the future, and like non-diss track music, you know. I'm excited to see what has to come for you. You're too beautiful and too talented to let any of this potential go to waste. And as for Katie, just stop rapping and go get a job.